Marvel Ultimate Big Brother, My Life as Spider-Man's Secret Weapon, Episode 71. Although Fang Bing didn't need the Keel secret medicine to prolong his life, his Asgardian royal divine body was already very long-lived. But what Fang Bing valued was the effect of the Keel secret medicine in resurrecting from the dead. This kind of magical thing. Easy access if given the opportunity. How could he possibly leave it to the hand rendezvous? As for why came to Wilson, Fisker does this. The reason is, the Shileo Keel is actually very large. The floor that supports the entire Hell's Kitchen. The most critical is, there is still a seal at the location of the Shileo Keel. That was the seal of the previous generation of Kunlun Iron Fist. The entrance to the seal. Just in Fang Bing let Wilson. Fisk. The area where I bought it was underground. Therefore, Fang Bing needs to control the entrance area first. Make this your own private fiefdom. Then find a way to slowly unseal the entrance. But now this matter is urgent. You can only wait for Wilson. Fisker did his job first. The next day, Fang Bing went to Little Peter. Accompanied Aunt May and Little Peter to dinner. Little Peter is 10 years old. Fang Bing is not sure now. Wait a few more years. Will he still be bitten by that mutant spider? Will it also become Spider-Man? Because recently, the development of his current affairs is worse and farther than he remembers. Not to mention that he also rescued Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Things are out of order. And the further back on, the more messy it gets. If Peter is really just an ordinary person in the future, Fang Bing was not unusual at all. What about Sister Sky? Why didn't I come with you? Little Peter tilted his head towards Fang Bing and asked. Sky has been gone for some days. Fang Bing hadn't told them yet. The main thing is not knowing what to say. Sky went to college out of town and won't be back until later. Can't tell the truth. Fang Bing could only make up a reason now. But Aunt May apparently didn't believe it. Did you two break up? Or quarreled? Aunt May asked with a gossipy look. Fang Bing didn't know what to say. Fortunately, he didn't let Aunt May know. A pair of siblings still live in his villa. Otherwise, she might have to make up something in her brain. Knock knock. Fang Bing, who was watching TV with Aunt May, Little Peter, heard hundreds of meters away from his own villa. There was a knock on the door. Fang Bing's expression froze. Just excuse that there is an emergency, greeted Aunt May's Little Peter. Walked towards the house. There was only one man who came. But in a black suit. Manners are elegant. And in the villa now, only Wanda is alone at home. Quicksilver Pietro went outside for a run. But Wanda didn't open the door. Because she didn't know the person outside. Who are you looking for? Fang Bing came to the door of the villa and asked the man in the suit. Baron Strack greets you. The man in the suit replied respectfully. Hear the name. Fang Bing knew that it was Hydra who came to the door. Because Baron Strack is one of the leaders of Hydra. Also kidnapped Wanda and Pietro, imprisoned them in underground military bases for experimentation. Finally get the Loki scepter from S.H.I.E.L.D. A person who activated the special abilities of two. What's the matter with me? Fang Bing asked lightly. Baron Strack believes that you have inadvertently taken two things that originally belonged to him, and wants to ask you to return them to him, for which he is willing to meet any of your conditions. The man in the suit sent by Hydra said with a sincere face. Did not show the slightest domineering gesture. On the contrary, he has always been humble. What if I say no? Fang Bing listened to his words. Just know the two things he said. It's Wanda and Pietro. Baron Strack said that if you are not willing to accept this condition, then they will give it to you, and Hydra hopes to get your friendship. After speaking, the black suit bowed again. Turned around and left. Fang Bing did not leave him. Because people come to the door so politely. Didn't do anything bad. How embarrassing it is to kill directly. It's just that Fang Bing is a little confused. I don't understand why Hydra came out this time. Hydra can find out its own details. I can find out that I took Wanda and Pietro with me. This is not unusual. Because S.H.I.E.L.D. is full of Hydra spies. It is not difficult for Hydra to get his true identity from S.H.I.E.L.D.'s side. And at that time, he took Wanda and Pietro directly. Disappeared from the underground base without a trace. Hydra, as long as it's not stupid. It doesn't take long to guess that you did it yourself. Fang Bing didn't expect to be able to completely hide from them. Just thinking that if Hydra dares to mess with himself, just teach them a profound lesson. That what Baron Strack and Alexander Pierce. These Hydra high-rise. It wasn't hard for him to find. Been too lazy to tell Nick before. Fury. Just because this kind of thing is set out. It's not good for yourself at all. It is more beneficial for S.H.I.E.L.D. to maintain its current state. Although Hydra came very politely, Fang Bing also raised his vigilance. I know even more how difficult this dark organization is. The kind of fool who only relies on force. It's easy to solve for Fang Bing. And this kind of hidden secret, a force like a viper, is the most powerful. Cutting off one head will also grow another. After the man in the suit left Fang Bing's villa, rushed directly to Hydra's Secret Service Academy. Phone. Baron Strack was waiting here for his report. He refused, very decisively. The man in the suit said to Baron Strack with a wine glass. The Baron nodded. Secretly watch his every move, but no one is allowed to offend him without my orders. Baron Strack made this decision not with difficulty. Since the day S.H.I.E.L.D. discovered the identity of Fang Bing's magician, Hydra also separately created a separate top-secret file for him. Kill the Iron Overlord. Destroy the Whiplash. Defeat Black Widow and join forces with Team America to turn a Kuan-style fighter into a Rose. Banished Hulk traps Abomination. The most important thing is that he also released Abhorrence and destroyed a military base. All this made Hydra feel. This magician named Fang Bing, although powerful to terrifying, but not an American teen hero of justice. Rather, a potential possible ally. Especially when Fang Bing snatched the two siblings from the underground military base. Hydra, after finding out the identity of the intruder, originally thought he would tell S.H.I.E.L.D. Intelligence that Hydra still exists. But Fang Bing is Nick. Foreign aid to the Fury Avengers. But he didn't tell S.H.I.E.L.D. at all. And Hydra was also found. Fang Bing also bypassed S.H.I.E.L.D. when solving the identity problem of the two siblings. Solved it with someone from Stark Industries. This couldn't help but make Hydra's high level feel. Fang Bing is actually not with S.H.I.E.L.D. It's a huge value. A strong person worth wooing. That's why I will find someone to come to the door to try it. And after Fang Bing refused, directly did the favor of Shun Shui. No more asking for the Wanda siblings. Another reason for this decision. Also in. Hydra doesn't know the true value of the Wanda siblings right now. There are many people in the world with abnormal abilities. Hydra has also caught many experiments before. Give up the siblings. And to establish a friendship with that magician. It's a great deal. The other side. After Fang Bing waited for the man in the suit to leave. Also entered the house. Hydra has already discovered that you are here, but they should not move you again for the time being. Fang Bing said to Wanda, who was still watching the romance drama. Wanda was stunned for a moment. After a while, silently nodded. A feeling of powerlessness welled up in my heart. I'll tell Pietro to be careful. It's just. Do you know when my superpowers will appear? Wanda was a little depressed. Once again, she experienced the feeling of being out of control of fate. Fang Bing heard her words. Know the panic in her heart. After all, she is still a teenager. Encounter this kind of thing. The reaction is normal. Don't be afraid, I'll protect you. In this way, I have a special practice method here. You can practice it when you are idle and bored. It will also help you to awaken your ability in the future. Fang Bing thought about it. It was decided to pass on the meditation to Wanda. Let her practice meditation. It's better than staying at home every day and watching TV. Accumulate some cosmic power. Improves mental strength. In this way, chaos magic will be awakened in the future. It can also directly become stronger. At this time, Pietro also finally came back from the run. Boss, I found that in the past 2 days, I have become faster and easier when running. He entered the living room. See Fang Bing in. Immediately said excitedly towards Fang Bing. Now I can run 30 miles in one go. Boss, your training plan is so useful. Wanda opened her mouth, not knowing what to say. Fang Bing smiled calmly. Then you can try your abilities again now. Swish. Bang. Pietro ran several times back and forth in the living room at a speed that was indistinguishable to the naked eye. Then he hit the LCD TV in the living room. Knocked the TV out of a big hole. Fainted again. Not bad, 2 more months of practice is about the same. Episode 72, S.H.I.E.L.D. In a secret underground base. Bald director Nick Fury frowned. He was thinking about a big decision. After a long time. Finally made up my mind. Let his agents find Dr. Eric. Dr. Eric was met by the previous bald chief at the time of Thor's arrival. He was the one. The doctor astronomer who took Thor out of S.H.I.E.L.D. But he's more than just a doctor of astronomy. He was once a colleague of Dr. Pym, who invented the Pym particle. Also a genius scientist. It ranks first all over the world. Now this Dr. Eric. Already by Nick Fury was recruited to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. Dr. Eric, this Rubik's Cube has tremendous power. Do you have a way to use it to create some powerful weapons for S.H.I.E.L.D.? When Dr. Eric came to Nick Fury's office, I saw a Rubik's Cube with blue light in front of the bald director. Dr. Eric looked calm. It's as if you don't know anything like this. No problem, let me try. Thereupon, S.H.I.E.L.D. has since begun preparing top-secret laboratories. Secretly formed a project to study the cosmic Rubik's Cube. And Nick. The reason why Fury decided to start the study of the cosmic Rubik's Cube. Or because he saw it with his own eyes recently. Asgard's so-called gods descend. Feel if there is a conflict. With the power of S.H.I.E.L.D. cannot be resisted. Not to mention the inability to protect the planet. But Nick Fury's intentions are good. But what he didn't see was when he spoke to Dr. Eric. Loki, the god of trickery who fell into the abyss of the universe. Like a marionette controlling Dr. Eric. Everything that started with S.H.I.E.L.D. Fang Bing didn't know yet. He had just received a call from Circe of the Eternals. Ask where Fang Bing has been setting up a stall recently. Why can't you find a sugar gourd stall in London? She also said that her friend was coming. I want to bring my friends to taste it together. This was not the first time Circe had called Fang Bing. Almost every once in a while, Fang Bing could receive her phone message. The content is all to ask when Fang Bing will come out. But Fang Bing has been too busy lately. There was no time to set up a stall as a reason to refuse. Until today. She asked Fang Bing again when he went to set up the stall. Fang Bing gave him an affirmative answer. Just because. I heard her say that she had friends coming with her. Circe's friends? What if it's someone else from the Eternals? Therefore, Fang Bing agreed to Circe's request, without hesitation this time. He slashed open the portal with one hand. Walked in. When it reappeared, it was already in London. The bench was removed from the alien space and the folding table was placed down. Then gave Circe a call. Tell her he's out of the stall. He waited for Circe and his friends to arrive. It didn't take long. Fang Bing saw 3 people coming from the other end of the street. 2 girls, a tall man. Both girls Fang Bing have seen it. One is Circe, a goddess who contributed material transformation divine skills to Fang Bing. One is Spacey. Girl who is always 11 years old. The other tall man. When Fang Bing saw the first glance. There is only one sentence left in my mind. Groove. He originally thought that this man would be from the Eternals. Igris? Kingo? But Fang Bing never expected it. What appeared in front of him was a person he never expected. Logan. He has another name. Wolverine. Mutant Wolverine. It has been a few months since Fang Bing's awakening system. But he hasn't met a single mutant. Originally, he thought this universe. It's just a mutant without mutants. There is no X-Men universe. But I never expected it. You'll meet Wolverine here. He even knew the people of the Eternals? He won't be Green Igris. Soaked in Circe, the goddess of the 7,000-year-old base, right? Uncle Wolf is playing quite flower. That's right, too. Wolverine also lived nearly 200 years. Meet a couple of 7,000-year-old Eternals. What's so strange? Well, this is normal. Not at all contradictory. No more. Maybe he was talking and laughing with 2 Eternal girls right now. Not Wolverine? Maybe just look alike? Watching a few people approaching. Fang Bing took out the food prepared in advance from the different space with him. Dozens of lamb kebabs. Dozens of sugar gourds. Put it on the stall. The reason why it is not taken out in advance. Just because I'm afraid to take it out in advance. It will attract too many ordinary people. At present, ordinary humans can give Fang Bing the ability to knowledge. For his strength. Basically, nothing helps much. Wolverine and Circe walked and chatted. Circe smiled and said, "The friend is here, did you ask about the fragrance?" Exceptionally delicious, Wolverine sniffled. It's a pity that his nose is not as good as Circe. Didn't smell anything. Aunt Circe, you have lived for thousands of years, you haven't eaten anything, why are you still so hungry? Shout sister, you are also a person who has lived for 200 years, do you know how to be polite? If you call me aunt again, turn your paws into wood. Circe seems to have a good relationship with Wolverine Logan. We know each other. It's just that Fang Bing didn't hear them talk about how they met. Soon, the 3 of them came to Fang Bing's booth. There are even lamb kebabs today? Circe sighed in disbelief. She said hello to Fang Bing. Regardless of the other 2. Pick up a bunch and start eating. Spacey because he had eaten it before. No Fang Bing's craftsmanship. Immediately following. 1 hand of lamb kebabs. One hand sugar gourd. Eat small face with sugar and oil. Where has Logan the Wolverine seen this kind of battle? He was injured decades ago. Saved by Circe. Only then did I get to know the goddess of the eternal race. Although I haven't seen each other a few times in all these years. But Circe had always been that goddess in his heart. Look at how they gobble up now. A certain string in Wolverine Rogan's heart snapped and broke. But soon he couldn't help it. Because the lamb skewer in front of me is so fragrant. Also tried to pick up a bunch and eat it. Soon, Fang Bing's system obtained the system list of the man in front of him. Fang Bing found out after reading it. Really? He's Wolverine Logan. Logan. Mutants, super physique LV5, this man has a super physique, 5 times more than ordinary people. Self-healing factor LV8, this man has a strong recovery ability, as long as he is not beheaded, he can heal quickly, and ordinary attacks cannot cause fatal damage to him. Edmund Alloy skeleton, this man's whole body is wrapped in Edmund Alloy, and he can eject Edmund Alloy blades from his fingers. Super melee combat LV8, this man has experienced a lot of life and death fights, and honed a fighting ability far beyond ordinary people. Supervision LV3, this man has good eyesight and can observe targets from an ultra-long distance. Danger perception LV2, this man can vaguely sense the impending danger. Fang Bing finished reading the list of Wolverine's abilities. It feels like Uncle Wolf is really hanging. Just this one healing power. You can beat the American team. Although the physique may be worse than that of the American team. But if it's a life and death fight, Uncle Wolf can play 2 American teams each. After all, Uncle Wolf fights. Claw dead. The American team fights only with vibranium shields. Vibranium can absorb kinetic energy. It is the most defensive metal. Edelman alloys are the heaviest and sharpest metals. I don't know if Uncle Wolf can pierce the shield of Team America with his claws. Extract. Congratulations on obtaining the self-healing factor LV8. Under Fang Bing's prayer to the heavenly god Buddha plus GUI. He drew Wolverine Rogan's strongest ability. Self-healing. With this thing, coupled with his own healing powers and super physique, Fang Bing felt that he really began to slowly become Xiaoqiang, who could not be killed. I just don't know if this self-healing factor can be upgraded. As far as he knows, Wolverine in the comics, at its strongest, it can be reborn with blood. If you can upgrade this ability to full level in the future, it should be possible to do it too, right? 10 minutes later, the 3 of them finished the lamb skewers and rock sugar gourds on the folding table. Wolverine Logan wiped his mouth. Circe, I kind of know why you look so ugly, it's delicious. Then turned his head towards Fang Bing and asked, friend, your craftsmanship is great, can you give me a contact information? Fang Bing smiled. The decisive Wolverine exchanged contact details. This was the first mutant he had met in this world. He guessed about the current mutants. It should all be hidden. Hidden among billions of ordinary people around the world. So I want to find other mutants. That Wolverine Logan is a breakthrough point. There are too many strong people among mutants. The strong are like a chain. Gray's Phoenix power. Enough to destroy the multiverse. Or Magneto's magnetism. Dig deeper. That is the electromagnetic force, one of the 4 fundamental forces of the universe. Fang Bing has always felt that Magneto is a parallel traitor, not exploiting its potential. If he can improve his ability to control electromagnetic forces, that's not far from becoming the 5 gods of creation. Episode 73, because he is not familiar with Circe and Wolverine. It's just the relationship between diners and cooks. Fang Bing was also not good to talk to them too much. Even more unable to inquire about the news. For example, Circe asked the rest of the Eternals where they lived in seclusion. Ask where are the other Wolverine mutants. He couldn't ask any of this. Otherwise, hostility will definitely be provoked. It will be more difficult in the future. So Fang Bing thought of a way. Before they leave, a little magic was performed on them. Portals. It is a manifestation of his identity. After receiving the surprised gazes of the 3, he also said that he is a helpful magic cook. If there is trouble later, you can call him at any time. If they have time, they will come and help them solve their problems. But Fang Bing did not mention the identities of the other 3 at all. Just pretend that Circe and Wolverine are ordinary people. And he is just a kind magician who likes to help ordinary people. Finish performing these. Fang Bing directly stepped through the portal and disappeared in front of the 3. The purpose of which he did so. Not for show-offs, of course. But Fang Bing felt. Always pretend to be a regular cook. I'm afraid a lot of opportunities will be missed. And pretending to be a magical magician who can open portals is useful. Maybe in case the Eternals or mutants are in trouble. Will think to ask yourself for help. Then he has the opportunity to have direct access to these people. As long as you can meet. There are ways to feed them. In fact, Fang Bing also has other ways to find mutants. As long as he doesn't bother. From now on, track Wolverine with portals. Keep an eye on him all the time. Sooner or later, the next mutant will be found. But this method is not suitable for Square Ice that likes to lie flat. He still likes the superpowers to come to the door to feed him. Stay up late every day to track or something. It's just 996. And this method is of little use to the Eternals. Because the Eternals are too alive. It's normal not to see it once in hundreds of years. After leaving London, Fang Bing went directly to Iron Man's luxurious villa. This time before coming in, Fang Bing specifically uses quantum induction. Sensing that there was no one else around him. Alone in the underground laboratory. After stepping out of the portal. Sure enough, he saw Iron Man tinkering with his Mark armor. Now his Mark Warframe has been upgraded to the 30th generation. It's already relatively strong. Iron Man saw Fang Bing coming. Stopped what he was doing. Ask Fang Bing what is going on. Can you modify my Kuan fighter? Make it possible to fly in space? Iron Man was a little embarrassed. Because it's no small project. The Kuan-type fighter cannot travel in space, first of all, the lack of energy, secondly, the lack of gravity system and life support system, and the most important thing is that the material of the Kuan-type fighter is not hard enough to resist the severe friction through the atmosphere. I can solve everything else, the problem is the airframe material. I don't have that much aviation metal at the moment. If I need to purchase aviation metal, I need to place an order with NASA, and it will take several months to rebuild the airframe. Fang Bing listened to Iron Man's words. Knowing that, as long as the problem is to transform the Kunji fighter into a spacecraft. The difficulty lies in replacing the entire Kunming fighter's material. Normally speaking, it's better to build a spaceship from scratch. It's not a big problem, you give me a simple structural diagram of the Kuan-type fighter. Fang Bing said confidently. Iron Man was a little confused. But he still directly let Jarvis directly hack the manufacturing process of the Kuan-type fighter from the military. Then from the entire process manufacturing drawing, the simplest frame structure diagram was found and given to Fang Bing. Fang Bing went back and drove the Kuan-type fighter to Iron Man's testing ground. Then I took a hard look at the frame drawings. Okay. The frame drawings only relate to the structure of the aircraft. 2 hours later, Fang Bing had already taken a look. Then he reached out and pressed it on the Kuan-type fighter. Moment. The shell of a Kuan-type fighter. And the core frame material began to change. A few minutes later. Although the appearance of the Kunji has not changed in the slightest. Even the paint of the watch is still the original color. But its main frame material. It has all been converted into vibranium. After completing this, Fang Bing went to call Iron Man. Oh, the biggest problem is solved, you just need to help me install your arc reactor in it, and gravity system and other things. Iron Man tilted his head and glanced at Fang Bing. Man, didn't you wake up? What did you solve? Isn't this still the original plane? Fang Bing smiled and said nothing. Just fingered down. Let him check it out himself. Iron Man was helpless. Approached the Kuan-type fighter. 10 minutes later. Waterfac? How did you do it? When the entire body of the aircraft was found with the internal frame. All turned into vibranium queens. Iron Man is already wooden. This is a whole Kuan-type fighter. How much vibranium does this cost? The point is, how did Fang Bing replace him with vibranium? He didn't know about Fang Bing's vibranium deal with the bald bureau chief. I also didn't know that Fang Bing had the ability to transform matter. That's why I'm so stunned now. Fang Bing saw this. Not teasing him either. Directly demonstrated his material transformation ability to Iron Man. Fac. I already knew that you could get vibranium casually, what else would I go to find that black-hearted bastard for? In order to find him to get some vibranium to add to my armor, you don't even know what price I paid, Iron Man shouted with a look of angry regret. Fang Bing suddenly became curious. What price did you pay? Could it be that the bald head has any special hobbies? Iron Man's face darkened when he heard this. Almost angry. Refused to talk to Fang Bing about this topic. To solve this most difficult problem, the rest is very simple. I can transform your Kuan-type fighter into a space flight within a month, but I'm curious, are you going to travel to space? I need to remind you that even with the arc reactor on this plane, because no one has yet developed a light-speed engine, you can't fly far into space. Iron Man said while looking at the Kuan fighter. Fang Bing shook his head. This is a secret, you just need to help me modify the Kuan-type fighter. As a reward, when your renovation is completed, I will help you turn this tarmac into vibranium. Are you happy? Iron Man rushed straight up, reaching out to hug Fang Bing and kissing him on the face. Was kicked out by Fang Bing. Get out. I can now determine what the bald chief must have done to you. That, the tarmac is too big, can you change places? Fang Bing was curious when he heard this. Is this still disgusting to the big one? Shouldn't more be better? Where do you want me to be? Iron Man weakly pointed to the luxurious villa by the sea behind him. How about you turn this into vibranium for me? Groove. Fang Bing was stunned. The area of this villa is not as large as the apron. But it's three-dimensional. This is going to turn into vibranium. That's not tens of thousands of tons. Fang Bing can now only change a few dozen cubic meters at a time. Want to give the villa a whole change? Wouldn't it take hours? However, Fang Bing thought of one more thing. In the future, Iron Man and Pepper will be attacked in this villa. The entire villa was bombarded into the sea by fighter jets. Maybe he will fulfill this wish himself. In the future, he can help him escape this disaster. Anyway, this guy has helped himself a lot during this time. Modifying the Kuan-based fighter would have cost him several weeks. Although Fang Bing is not a good person. But he is by no means a person without heart and lungs. He believed in the simple truth that there is revenge and grace in return. So decide. Then fulfill Iron Man's wish then. It just takes a few more hours. Okay, I promised you, but the premise is that you should also be careful when transforming the fighter, and when I am satisfied, you will also be satisfied. Iron Man nodded repeatedly. Then he chanted vibranium in his mouth and began his transformation work. Afterwards, Fang Bing asked Iron Man for something again. He hurried home. Because of Iron Man's words just now. Reminded him of one thing. Iron Man wants to turn his villa into vibranium. Then why can't your own villa also become vibranium? Go home and renovate. Convert the villa to vibranium. Replace windows and doors with the hardest, transparent special materials. So whether it's Wanda or Pietro, or wait for Sky to come back for a while, just stay in the villa. There will be absolutely no more danger. Until then. What kind of thing like the Hulk hitting the villa again? Just let him bump. Fang Bing didn't believe that he could smash tens of thousands of tons of vibranium villas. Meteorites can't be smashed. Just do what you say. Fang Bing took out some special material samples that he had just asked for Iron Man. Touched one by one. The villa's vibranium can use all vibranium. Where doors and windows need to be transmitted. Just use these strongest, special transparent materials. 2 hours later. Earth's strongest defensive fortress built. Episode 74, after the renovation of the villa is completed. It's still no different from before. Because the ice in front of the renovation has already written down the appearance of the original villa. When matter is converted. Directly on the surface of the vibranium villa, a layer of camouflage exactly the same as before. In order to be able to make the ground bear such a heavy vibranium villa. Fang Bing also deliberately converted the foundation in advance. Infallible. All-round defense. Although the special transparent glass is slightly less defensive. But Fang Bing has also installed vibranium closed windows that can be opened and closed at any time on the inside of the window. In case of danger. Just close the vibranium closed window inside. It's okay if the special glass outside is broken. The interior of the villa has also retained the original decoration. Wanda sitting on a living room couch, practicing meditation. Didn't even feel the change in the villa. When all this is done. Fang Bing told Wanda and Pietro about the change of the villa. And what to do in case of danger. He incarnates as a doomsday survival maniac. He even plans to go back and look for Iron Man again. Let him install a boat reactor in his villa. Paired with a circular life support system. At that time, even if aliens invade New York. The fight outside turned upside down. Fang Bing can stay at home and watch TV safely. Leviathan bangs his head against the door. Without blinking. Just ask whether it is strong or not. Now Fang Bing's only regret is one thing. Last time I went to New Mexico. Forgot to touch Thor's hammerhead. To say that there is a metal in the universe that is harder than vibranium. There is only one that is undisputed. Ulu metal. Thor's Mjolnir. Thor's future storm tomahawk. Thanos infinity gauntlet. Odin's eternal gun. Thanos tyrant butcher knife. It's all made of this metal. The hardest metal in the universe. It's just that Mjolnir only used Ulu metal for the hammerhead. When Fang Bing went to pull out the hammer at that time. I didn't even think about this stubble. Only the handle of the hammer was held. It's a shame to think about it now. But that's okay. There are opportunities later. It won't be long before Thor, the second goods, should be in the nether realm again. If you can convert your villa into ulu metal. Fang Bing felt that it was a real absolute defense. Because of the vibranium shield of the American team. Later, it was smashed alive by Thanos' tyrant butcher knife, made of URU metal. Mjolnir though, was later pinched by Hela. Not because ulu metal is not hard enough. It's because Mjolnir was originally Hela's weapon. When forged, her mana was contained inside. Hela was with Odin on his quest to the universe. Mjolnir is one of her weapons. After Hela was imprisoned, the weapon only got into Thor's hands. Thor used second hand. That's why Mjolnir will be crushed by Hela. It's not that the metal isn't hard, but disintegrated from within. After remodeling the house, Fang Bing's beautiful beauty full of security made up for it at home. Sleep until midnight after waking up. He remembered the previous incident of extracting insect abilities. So get up. A portal opened in place and went straight back to Hell's Kitchen. Because of the insects he was looking for this time. It's fleas. This level of disgusting is no less than cockroach stuff. Fang Bing felt. It's better to go to a garbage place like Hell's Kitchen. After walking out of the portal, he appeared on a secluded street. This is where he first saved Sky. Turn on the biodetector on your wrist. Start strolling through the streets. A cool breeze blowing at night. Listen to the screams and gunshots that resound from time to time within a radius of several miles. It's also a special taste. Just after walking the streets for about 10 minutes. The biological detector still did not react. Fang Bing was dumbfounded. When was Hell's Kitchen so clean? Not even a flea gone? But he reacted quickly. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. Fleas generally only parasitize people or animals. The street he strolled on was too secluded. Not even a bum. How is it possible to find fleas? Fang Bing, who figured it out, immediately changed the location of the search. He began to walk towards the dense areas of the apartment buildings. Really? A few minutes later, when he walked to an apartment building, there was a constant buzzing sound from the biological detector. Remind him that he has found his goal. Fang Bing listened to the movements in the building. A strange expression appeared on his face. Walked in. All the way upstairs. Walked to the door of an apartment at the end of the hallway. There was a knock on the door. The movement inside the door immediately stopped. But Fang Bing waited at the door for a minute. Still no one opened the door. He knocked on the door again. The people inside still decided to play dead. Until Fang Bing knocked it a third time. Only after the door did a voice come out. Knock on the door again and kill you. Fang Bing kicked open the door. The man holding a gun against the door behind the door. Kicked out with the security door. The man who flew out snapped directly onto the wall. He's dead. Fang Bing walked into the apartment. Straight to the bedroom. Ignored the bed in the bedroom. A man who was tied in chains, blindfolded, and gagged. Directly opened the wardrobe in the bedroom. Take Fang Bing's supervision. Immediately, many fleas were spotted running rampant inside. Summoned flea food prepared in advance out of thin air from a different space. Threw it into the closet. Then closed the wardrobe door. Quietly waiting for the harvest moment. A few minutes later, the system successfully obtained a huge list of capabilities. Fleas. Flea attack LV6. This flea can jump to a height of 100 times its height, looking for target parasitic reproduction. Toxic infection LV1. This flea carries a variety of bacteria and viruses, which can infect parasites with diseases. Photophobia LV5. This flea is very afraid of light and likes to live in the wet and dark. Blood-sucking LV1. This flea likes to suck the blood of the host to breed in this way. Cocoon LV1. This flea will cocoon to protect itself as it grows. Fang Bing finished reading the list of abilities. There was no hesitation. There was a batch extraction. Soon, after hundreds of pumps, he managed to obtain a level 10 flea sortie. As for other capabilities, it's all terrible. Disable directly. Flea attack LV10. Although you have a different body structure from a flea, you are proficient in its jumping power skills, and you have the ability to jump more than 20 times the height of your body. The same as the power of ants obtained earlier. Although Fang Bing obtained a full level of flea sorties. But because the body structure is different, the effect is discounted. The strongest fleas can jump up to 150 times their height. But Fang Bing was the same as before. Less than 1/6 of the effect was obtained. That's only 20 times. Although it doesn't sound good. Fang Bing is 1 meter 8 meters tall. Jump 20 times. That's 36 meters. The first floor is generally only about 3 meters. That is, Fang Bing can now jump directly to the height of the 12-story building. And this is not counting the bonus of his own super physique. So Fang Bing couldn't estimate how high he could jump now. I'll have to go out and try it later. After doing your own thing. Fang Bing looked at the thin and handsome man who was tied by chains. He stepped forward. Pulled off the 4 chains on the corner of the bed. He opened the portal and left. What I just saw was too spicy. Fang Bing needs to wash his eyes. Simply opened the portal directly above the sea. After stepping out of the portal. Fall directly towards the sea. But Fang Bing did not let himself fall into the sea this time. It's about to fall into the water. The legs are slightly bent. A unique jumping technique was used. Then he stepped on the surface of the sea. Bang! It was as if a bomb had been detonated on the surface of the sea. A reaction force appeared from under Fang Bing's feet. Hold up his body. Bang! 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 Fang Bing stepped on the sea like this and began to run. Each step causes a violent turbulence in the sea beneath your feet. Each step can bounce up to 10 meters away. The bright moon on the sea shines on the running square ice. He ran for half an hour. With a long roar, my heart was very comfortable. Before falling into the water. Wash your eyes and go. Swim in the sea. 8 dozens of oysters. Fang Bing opened the portal in the sea. Back in the city. He found a tall building. Stand downstairs. Prepare to put your jumping ability to the test. Just now in the sea. Because the sea water under your feet is liquid. Cushioned most of the force of his jump. Only about 10 meters away. Now he's going to try. How high can you jump on land? Can it reach the level of little Peter becoming Spider-Man in the future? Bang! Fang Bing jumped upwards on the spot. The road surface collapsed slightly. But it didn't recoil into a big hole as he thought. This is thanks to the special jumping technique just got. The body begins to rise rapidly. 10 meters. 20 meters. 30 meters. 40 meters. 50 meters. Up to 50 meters. Fang Bing stopped rising. Fall down. He has already measured his current extreme jump height. With super physique bonus and flea power skills. He has already managed to jump to 50 meters. That's the equivalent of a 16-story building. At this time, Fang Bing's body quickly descended. When touched to the ground again, he jumped out again in an instant. This time it's not just about jumping up. He jumped onto the 16th floor of the 30-story building. When arriving at the 16th floor, he instantly stretched out his feet and stepped on the balcony protruding from this floor again. So, next second, Fang Bing jumped directly onto the roof of this 90-meter-high apartment building. Episode 75. After reaching the 30-story rooftop, Fang Bing blew the night breeze and looked up at the starry sky. Felt very comfortable. Abilities he acquired in the past. There has never been such an ability that can make him jump like a Superman. To know. The distance between buildings in the city is basically not more than 50 meters. Can jump 50 meters. It means that he can jump from tall buildings infinitely. Fang Bing stood at the edge of the rooftop. Prepare to continue and jump all the way home to catch up on sleep. Fang Bing? A surprised voice suddenly appeared behind him. Fang Bing was stunned. As if realizing something. Go back. I saw a person behind me wearing a tights. A man with a tattered hood on his head stands on the other side of the rooftop. Fang Bing looked at his dress. Just know who he is. He was a high school classmate at Midtown High School. Now a college classmate at Columbia University. A man who has contributed super hearing to himself. Daredevil. Matthew. Merctor. I was just excited just now. I forgot to listen to the movement of the rooftop in advance. I didn't notice that Matthew the Daredevil was also staying on the roof. Here it goes. Not only was he seen jumping up from downstairs, he also discovered his identity. Never mind. Expose it, expose it. Isn't Matthew himself wearing a hood anyway? Heard each other. Matthew. Why are you here? The moonlight on the roof is beautiful, right? Fang Bing stepped forward with a look of surprise. Tapped Matthew's shoulder. Regardless of the fact that Matthew was still wearing a hood. Directly broke his identity. Daredevil Matthew is all wooden. What the? What's going on? Am I exposed? Obviously I'm still wearing a hood. How did you find out my identity? I'm not called Matthew, you recognize the wrong person. Daredevil Matthew also tried to cover up. Tonight he just finished his righteous fight. Somewhat tired. That's where I came to this rooftop break. And stand high and listen far. This can help him get more accurate updates in nearby neighborhoods. Then he heard something jumped down from downstairs to the 90-meter-high apartment building. At first, he didn't even think it was human. Because as far as he knows, there is no Superman in this world in the comics. How could someone jump tens of meters high? And then, next second, he found his old friend Fang Bing appearing on the rooftop. Although he is blind, but he also has super hearing and a keen sense of smell. The smell of a person. He only needs to smell it once and never forget it. The moment Fang Bing appeared upstairs, Matthew recognized his identity. Surprised. I couldn't help but speak out. But thought. A moment ago, he had just called Fang Bing's identity. Next second, he himself was called by Fang Bing to break his identity. You're not called Matthew. Merctor, the demon called Hell's Kitchen? You kid thinks I don't know you with a HUD? Fang Bing casually summoned a case of beer from the storage space. A pot of steaming spicy crayfish. It was placed on the rocks surrounding the rooftop. After shoving a handful of beer into Matthew's hand. Syllable. I opened a can and drank it myself. Matthew looked at the beer in his hand stunned. And that pot of spicy crayfish with a scent. It's still a little unacceptable. His identity was exposed like this. This is his biggest secret for years. Only the stick in the world knows now. Okay, don't be stunned, I won't tell anyone. Fang Bing saw that Matthew was still there, peeling the crayfish and smiling comfortedly. Matthew slowed down. Poured a sip of beer. Also learned Fang Bing to peel the crayfish directly by hand. The two are like that. A sip of beer, a sip of spicy crayfish. Ate on the rooftop of a 30-story building. After a while, the shrimp are also full. The wine was also drunk. Matthew couldn't help but have a stomach of questions. Are you Superman? How can you jump so high? How did beer crayfish appear out of thin air? Are you a magician? And most importantly, how did you recognize my identity? Matthew asked a bunch of questions. But Fang Bing was not ready to answer any of them. He smiled and said, You forgot you're blind? Actually, I came up the stairs, and the beer crayfish was packed by me from a Chinese restaurant, and I recognized you because you have a good voice. Fang Bing finished speaking. Jumped into the air with a whoosh. Jumped towards the roof of another building. In this way, it keeps leaping on the rooftops of tall buildings. Soon, it disappeared into Matthew's hearing range. Matthew was dumbfounded. If it weren't for Fang Bing running too fast, he would definitely grab Fang Bing's collar. Ask if this guy treats him for a fool. Fang Bing leaped all the way. Soon returned to his family's villa. Although it was already late at night. But Wanda still hasn't slept. Still sitting cross-legged on the living room couch meditating. Fang Bing looked at her serious appearance. I couldn't help but nod. Thought to himself. Wanda is worthy of the future control of chaos magic. Also learned the Scarlet Witch of the Book of Darkness. Her success and strength are no accident. Just thought about this. Fang Bing heard Wanda's faint snoring. A head question mark. Little girl, what's going on with you? Have you fallen asleep for a long time? Can you fall asleep while meditating? Fang Bing stepped forward and pinched her nose. Not awake yet. After a while, I saw her stretching out her hands. It began to flutter in the air. Ah, let me go. Don't eat me, The next moment, she suddenly woke up from her dream. Because if you don't wake up, you will suffocate. Fang Bing let go of his hand. Look at her quietly. Wanda glanced at Fang Bing. The face is not red and breathless. I really didn't fall asleep, I was just meditating. I visualized a big octopus, and I didn't expect it to bite me. Do you know what's going on? Does meditating on the big octopus indicate something? She explained her actions in a serious way. He even asked Fang Bing a question in turn. Fang Bing was almost laughed at by her. God meditates on the big octopus. You're dreaming. Fang Bing was too lazy to take care of her. Leave a sentence. If you want to sleep, go back to your room to sleep, it's easy to get cold outside. Just walked towards his bedroom. Tossed in the middle of the night. It's time for him to catch up on his sleep. Although meditation can replace sleep. But people who don't even sleep lazily. What's the difference with salted fish? After Fang Bing left, Wanda's face turned red. Touched his nose. I was angry and ashamed in my heart. I obviously want to meditate hard. Why did you fall asleep? To practice meditation. Don't you even watch your favorite TV these days? But why do you fall asleep as soon as you meditate? Since learning to meditate, it's like that every time. It was normal when I first entered the meditative state. Then I fell asleep thinking about it. Could it be that he doesn't have a talent for magic? Wanda was a little frustrated. Get up from the couch. I went back to the bedroom to sleep. It's just that Wanda doesn't know. Every time when she fell asleep meditating, her body will quickly begin to absorb cosmic energy. The speed is not lower than that of Fang Bing, who is full of meditation. It's just that she will only meditate on it now. I just don't feel the change in myself at all. Early the next morning, after Fang Bing got up, first summon the food generator to bring yourself a luxurious breakfast. Spicy soup with chicken rolls. East meets West. Eating. I suddenly remembered something that I had left behind for a long time. Suddenly, there was a groove in my heart. Finish the rest of the meal in 2 bites. A portal was slashed open with one hand. Got into it. When it reappears. Already arrived at the vibranium cell under the sea. I saw Xiao Huang, who had lost weight, in the cell. I couldn't help but feel a little ashamed in my heart. Busy these days. I forgot about having a small pet at the bottom of the sea. Fortunately, Xiao Huang's vitality is strong. Otherwise, I would have starved to death. But not yet starved to death. The original body is even bigger than the Hulk. It is also moribund. Even if its physique is strong, it is also a living thing. The law of conservation of energy needs to be observed. No food for energy for a long time. It can only consume its own stored energy. Led to starvation and weight loss. It's almost skinny. It's not the same as the US team being trapped under the ice. Team America has been under the ice for 70 years. It is equivalent to being frozen and suspended for 70 years. He doesn't need much to expend his own energy. If the American team is also locked up in this vibranium cell, it is estimated that he starved to death in less than a month. Saw Fang Bing enter the door. Little Yellow, who was lying on the ground dying, swallowed and wanted to crawl over. But he has no strength. He could only look at Fang Bing with aggrieved eyes. As if asking, "Are you trying to starve Ben to death?" Fang Bing hurriedly stepped forward. Piles of cooked steaks were generated using the gourmet generator. There are also large basins of glucose water. Start feeding it. Xiao Huang's eyes lit up. Immediately plucked up your spirits and began to gobble up. An hour later, as Xiao Huang ate hundreds of pounds of food, its body is strong again. The body shape has also returned to its original appearance. What surprised Fang Bing even more? Little Yellow after eating. He actually took the initiative to squat on the ground and rub his palm. It didn't have that attitude before. This means that it has completely surrendered to Fang Bing, the master. Fang Bing couldn't help but be surprised. Is raising hatred the same as raising a puppy? Disobedient and hungry and well-behaved? Do you want to lock up the Hulk and try it after that? Episode 76. When it was found that Xiao Huang had become well-behaved, Fang Bing opened the portal. With it, he temporarily left the vibranium cell under the sea. He wanted to see, can Xiao Huang become a qualified pet in the end? After walking out of the portal, Fang Bing had already arrived in the barren mountain before with it. Xiao Huang stood beside him, looked left and right. But he didn't run away without permission. Fang Bing was satisfied when he saw this. Then he pointed to the black bear in the forest. That's right. It was the black dog bear that Fang Bing had used to test and treat his powers before. Catch it for me, live. Xiao Huang didn't seem to understand. Looked at the black bear. He looked at Fang Bing again. Fang Bing said again. Xiao Huang finally seemed to understand. With a bang, he rushed out. Stepped out of a big hole in the ground under my feet. The black bear in the distance heard the movement. Turn around and run. But how could it possibly outrun Little Yellow? A few seconds later, he was slapped to the ground by Xiao Huang. The black dog bear was screamed as he was photographed. Seeing this, Fang Bing thought that he was going to eat roasted bear paw at noon today. But unexpectedly, Xiao Huang actually obeyed Fang Bing's order. Didn't shoot this black dog bear to death. Instead, he pinched his neck. Pick it up. Started running towards Fang Bing. A few seconds later, Xiao Huang returned with the poor black dog bear. Stand next to Fang Bing. He reached out and wanted to hand him the bear. Fang Bing was very happy to see this scene. I know that this time I am really subdued. This can only be fought with the Hulk back and forth monsters. When it is necessary to fight later, the low-grade goods themselves don't have to shoot. Directly pull a portal and send Xiao Huang to get it. Full of deterrence. There was just one problem that gave Fang Bing some headaches. He is in the advanced stage of lazy cancer. I really don't want to go to the bottom of the sea to feed Xiao Huang often. If you forget it next time. Didn't think about it for a month or two. Wouldn't that starve it to death? Or else get it back to the villa? No, no, no. Fang Bing immediately vetoed this idea in his heart. Although the own villa is not afraid of it tossing. But both Wanda and Pietro also live in the villa. Now I'm not sure if it will go crazy in the future. So never bring it back. So what to do? Fang Bing pondered. Looking for the best of both worlds. Suddenly, he saw the mutated fins on Xiao Wang's body. There was a bold guess in mind. Try it when you think of it. Fang Bing slashed open an orange-yellow portal with one hand. With Xiao Huang, he returned to the vibranium cell at the bottom of the sea. Xiao Huang is back here again. It seems a little uneasy. But Fang Bing ignored it for the time being. Instead, he pressed his hand to the wall of the vibranium cell. A door soon appeared on the wall. The sea rushed in through the door. A few seconds later, the vibranium cell was already filled with seawater. Fang Bing then looked at Xiao Huang in the cell. I want to see if it is what I think it is. Really? Xiao Huang just began to flutter twice in the sea. But soon a surprised expression appeared on his face. It found itself breathing in the sea. So I began to swim curiously in the cell filled with seawater. Fang Bing sighed secretly, sure enough. When he noticed the fins on Xiao Huang's body just now, I realized that it might be able to adapt to life underwater. After testing, it turned out that this was the case. Then his headache is solved. Just put the little yellow into the sea. Let it hunt in the sea on its own. You don't have to feed as often. When it's needed, just open the portal summon around it. Think of this. Fang Bing felt perfect. I just think it's better to get a nest for it. Went to Iron Man again. I asked him for a drawing and looked at it. Afterwards, he pressed his hand on the ground again and initiated the material transformation. Began to renovate the original vibranium cell. A new closed chamber has been added to isolate seawater. The area has also been expanded. 10 minutes later, Little Yellow's nest at the bottom of the sea is built. This nest is given with reference to Iron Man. Drawings of the closed chamber of the submarine were built. The interior is dry and waterless. When Xiao Huang goes out, direct access to the sea is possible through a closed room. When you come back full of food, you will not bring sea water in. After getting it all right, Fang Bing gave Xiao Huang some more orders. It was specifically stated that it was not allowed to go to land. Only then did he leave with confidence. But Fang Bing did not leave the sea. He was ready to take advantage of boredom. Continue searching the sea for creatures with special abilities. Up to now, he only got the electric shock of an electric eel from the sea. There is also the neurotoxin of box jellyfish. Both of these capabilities are very powerful. Gave him a lot of help. Electric Energy Impact LV7, now it has become his strongest range attack ability. Neurotoxin LV9, it greatly increased his attack power. It's even the Hulk and Abomination. This super strong monster is not completely immune to toxins. Fang Bing wanted to continue looking for it today. See if you can raise these two abilities to full level. Or find other creatures with special abilities. He found a passing great white shark. After a few punches to subdue it. Right on it. The biodetector on the wrist was turned on. Start letting the great white shark roam the bottom of the sea with itself. Below the deep sea, there are all kinds of weird things. Ancient shipwrecks. Crabs with large millstones. Fang Bing lazily admired it, while waiting for feedback from the biodetector. But the sea is boundless. It's just too vast. After an hour, Fang Bing did not find the target creature. And the great white shark is farther and farther away. The deeper it gets, Fang Bing couldn't even tell where he was. When he thought about coming here today. When ready to give up. Suddenly, the sweat hair stood slightly. Aware of an unknown danger coming. Next second. A giant tentacle that is 3 meters thick and 20 meters long. Peek out of the deep sea beneath the great white shark. Lightning towards the great white shark. Fang Bing, who had not paid attention to the movement below, quickly dodged from the great white shark. Narrowly escaped the attack range of the giant tentacles. And his temporary mount. The poor great white shark was entangled in tentacles. Instantly dragged into the deep sea and disappeared. Fang Bing broke out in a cold sweat. It's so scary. His super hearing is far less powerful in the sea than on land. I didn't notice this giant sea monster that suddenly attacked below just now. Of course. He wasn't scared because he couldn't beat this thing. And purely because it was the first time to see this deep sea giant. Again it popped out of nowhere. I was taken aback. After slowing down, Fang Bing felt that he couldn't let it go so easily. Dare to scare yourself. He also dared to eat his own mount. How can it work without paying the price? because it was found that the sea monster had run away. Not sure where it went. Fang Bing can only turn on the biological detector. The conditions for searching for giant creatures are also recorded. So when the biological detector detects the oversized creature again, we'll call Fang Bing. After preparation, he began to quickly chase in the direction where the great white shark was towed away. Has a bonus to increase swimming speed, plus super physique and divine power. In fact, Fang Bing's swimming speed is faster than that great white shark. Before, he used the great white shark as a mount, just to be lazy. By the way, experience the feeling of riding a shark. Half an hour later, the bioprobe finally tracked down the giant sea monster. Fang Bing quickly chased after it. Not for a while. It was found in a trench. I also saw the true face of this giant sea monster. It turns out to be a giant octopus sea monster with 8 tentacles. Its head is the size of a house. Each of the 8 tentacles is more than 20 meters long. More than 3 meters thick. The tentacles are also covered with suction cups with large basins. And at the moment, it is sucking the flesh and blood of that great white shark with its tentacles. A 5-meter-long great white shark. In several of its tentacles wrapped around. It's like a little bit. Fang Bing finished in amazement. Just rushed straight up. The giant octopus sea monster discovered Fang Bing's arrival. Thought that another ration had been delivered to the door. Dropped the great white shark casually. Several huge tentacles stretched out towards Fang Bing. Fang Bing reached out and grabbed the tentacles. Using brute force, he dragged the octopus sea monster to a halt. He grabbed the tentacle with one hand. Look at the other tentacles about to wrap up. As soon as the other hand was extended, the material transformation ability was activated. A vibranium chopping long knife, transformed from seawater, instantly appeared in his hand. One wave of the knife. Poof. The 3-meter-thick tentacle in front of him was cut off. This was followed by a series of knives. Cut off the other tentacles of the giant octopus sea monster, one by one. Not for a while. A bare giant octopus head appeared in front of Fang Bing. The tentacles have been cut off in their entirety. It doesn't see the situation. Still want to run. But it was paralyzed by Fang Bing's electric energy impact. After getting this big thing under control, Fang Bing did not kill it. Because if you want to kill, Fang Bing only needs to turn on the neurotoxin to solve it early. As for what to keep for, of course, it is forcibly fed to it. Check out this giant sea monster that is rare for humans. Is there anything special? Episode 77, Fang Bing's electric energy impact is not strong enough. After the giant sea monster was electrified, it recovered in seconds. It just wanted to spew ink and take the opportunity to escape. But at this time, Fang Bing was already close to it. The chopping knife in his hand transforms into a giant sledgehammer several meters in size. A hammer smashed into its brain. Shut its mouth for it. Then Fang Bing continued to wield the giant hammer. Repeated thumps. The giant octopus with only its head left was only half a breath left. Watch and fight again. Just hammer it into a bolognese. Fang Bing stopped. I casually summoned a ball of meatballs. A giant hammer was used to prop open the mouth of the giant octopus. One shoved it in. After stuffing in, Fang Bing was afraid that it would not eat. He also stabbed it hard with a hammer. Finally. A few minutes later. With Fang Bing's unremitting efforts, the giant octopus sea monster was humiliated and fed. Swallowed that lump of meatballs. Fang Bing sitting on the head of an octopus. A mechanical tone was also received for success in the system extraction capability list. Octopus sea monster. Heirs of Quagos, Inkjet LV9, it will spit out a huge amount of ink when it senses danger, covering its escape. Quagos bloodline. Special, it has a trace of the blood of the legendary Quagos, and its body can grow indefinitely. Mimic color change LV8, it can change the color and state of the body, and easily integrate into the surrounding environment. Octopus sea monster Julie LV7, this alienated giant octopus has an unrivaled 10,000 catty giant power. Giant tentacle LV8, this octopus sea monster has 8 huge tentacles to help it hunt prey. Groove. When Fang Bing saw the name of this octopus in the ability list, the first reaction was incredulous. His second reaction. It was immediately that a giant portal opened in place. Then the large octopus was connected to its 8 severed tentacles. All thrown in. Then he also got into the portal himself. Left that sea. When he reappears, it is returned to the barren mountains and mountains before. After closing the portal, Fang Bing let out a long sigh of relief. When seeing the word heir of Quagos, he realized he might not be safe there. Because Quagos this thing. Fang Bing never thought that this Marvel universe would really exist before. What is Quagos? It is the heir of the Eye Devil. What is an Eye Demon? The Eye Devil is one of the big devils in the Marvel universe. It was born out of chaos. It has another name, unnameable tentacles. One of the old dominators in the Marvel universe. It is more powerful than the demon god Dormammu. It came to Earth in ancient times. He is the king of the Jurassic period of the Earth. He was later banished from this universe forever. But although the Eye Demon was banished, it was a long time ago. Created an heir based on himself. That's Quagos. Later, Quagos challenged the Eye Demon because he did not measure himself. Sealed in the depths of the sea by the Eye Demon. And now, this giant octopus that Fang Bing encountered at the bottom of the sea. The system actually said that it was the heir of Quagos. There is a trace of the blood of Quagos. Although Quagos is far worse than the Eye Demon. But it is by no means something that I can deal with now. And it's easy to guess. It is likely that its seal has loosened. Otherwise, how could there be its heirs in the sea? After learning that he had killed the heir of an ancient demon god, Fang Bing cleaned up the corpse of the octopus sea monster for the first time. Quickly left the crime scene. For fear of being discovered by Quagos. Half across the Pacific Ocean. Give yourself a black magic curse or something like that. Square ice that is already safe. Now there is only one feeling left. The Marvel universe is so dangerous. Maybe one day I was eating, sleeping, and beating beans. A big villain emerged from the corner. A slap on the wrist. Forget it, getting stronger is the last word. Extract. Congratulations on getting mimicry color change LV8. Not bad. Fang Bing said to himself. He is still quite satisfied with being able to draw this. The other abilities of the big octopus, in addition to the giant power of an octopus. He couldn't look at the rest. The ability to get is naturally tested. He walked up to a large rock. Mimic color change is initiated. Raised his hand and looked at his arm. Well. He really turned stone. What about your body shape? Basically unchanged, however, it can also faintly match the grain on the surface of the large stone. There is just one problem. Special clothes will not change color with the use of eggs. What kind of ability is this? Do you want me to hide myself every time in the future? Do you want to run naked first? Isn't that a perversion? Fang Bingqi complained madly. Finally, I couldn't help but walk back. A foot on the head of a large octopus that was still bouncing on the ground. Seeing the corpses of large octopuses on the ground has attracted ants. I think that I will often come here as a base in the future. Fang Bing stretched out his hand and pressed it. His material transformation though cannot transform living things. But this octopus is now dead. No problem at all. The octopus's limbs instantly turned into dirt and melted into the ground. This trip to the bottom of the sea. Fang Bing felt that he had gained the most. I learned that there is a big boss Quagos at the bottom of the sea. And it may be about to break through the seal. In the future, when you go to the sea, you should pay attention. In case you hit the seal head first. That's a lot of fun. Secondly, he felt that he should find a way to strengthen the demon resistance. Now his body is already strong. Physical defenses are only a little worse than the Hulk. Magic resistance is still worse. Extreme environmental resistance previously obtained from cockroaches. It is estimated that it cannot withstand attacks such as black magic curses. But Fang Bing couldn't think of how to obtain abilities like spell resistance for the time being. And going to Iron Man for this kind of question should not get any answers. Simply sacrifice to trick. Pull out your phone in place. Start posting online for help. I met a magician who wanted to kill me, how can I improve my magic resistance? Then he waited for the sand sculpture netizens to give him ideas. 5 minutes later. He refreshed the page. It was found that the post had been built dozens of floors. If the magician is a woman, you kneel and marry her, and if it is a man, you use a few more bars of soap. This is a reply from a person called Rich Woman Happy Planet. Kill him with one punch, you don't need magic resistance. 6 Banshee Veils. Fang Bing looked at the sand sculpture replies of netizens. I couldn't help but be happy. But none of these suggestions worked for him. He could only keep watching. Until I saw a statement. I choose to eat tardigrades, eat 10,000 to pile the demon resistance to the top. Hold the magician against the magician, although it is impossible for Fang Bing to eat water bears. But this sand sculpture netizen also successfully reminded Fang Bing. There are also amazing creatures such as tardigrades on Earth. It's just that after Fang Bing thought about it carefully. I think I may only have a small chance of gaining tardigrade's abilities. Because it's so small. Although it still belongs to animals. It's not a bacterial germ. But it's generally less than a millimeter. A millimeter. That's a little bigger. Much smaller than a flea. Although this creature is small. But it is now. The creature most likely to provide Fang Bing's magic resistance. Because what tardigrades do best is survive. Although its physical resistance is poor. All it takes is a twist of the fingers. You can directly pinch to death. But other than that, almost any extreme natural environment on Earth can kill it. It can survive in a high-temperature environment of 150 degrees. It can also live in extremely cold areas of -200 degrees. All kinds of radioactive substances cannot kill it. Nuclear radiation is a piece of cake for it. The body can withstand a pressure of 600 MPa. Can survive in the deepest trench in the world. This is a creature with super vitality. Although somewhat unconfident. But Fang Bing finally got inspiration from sand sculpture netizens. How can you not give it a try? So the portal was scut. I came to the house of my logistics technical consultant again. A technical consultant who was upgrading the Kuan-type fighter was found. A request was made to him to upgrade the biodetector. Although the technical consultant was a little upset, someone interrupted his train of thought. But he still seriously met Fang Bing's requirements. An hour later, Fang Bing wore the upgrade. A biological detector that can detect miniature animals such as tardigrades. Came to a swamp in the Amazon jungle. Here he was with Sky before. When idle and bored. Where Kaikan fighters have wandered. So he can open the portal directly and come here. As for why you came here. The reason is simple. This kind of place is the favorite environment for tardigrades. Really? Fang Bing just came out of the portal. The biodetector on his wrist began to buzz wildly. Found the tardigrade. In the air. That next step. It's time to think about how to feed. Episode 78, after the biological probe rang. Fang Bing looked for it according to the direction indicated by the door. Soon came to a puddle. Biodetector display. There are more than a dozen tardigrades living inside this murky puddle. Although Fang Bing has supervision. But he really couldn't see through this muddy puddle. I didn't see where the tardigrades, which were only a millimeter in size, were. But he didn't panic in the slightest. Because he doesn't need to see. As long as the tardigrade is willing to eat the food he makes, it will be fine. Fang Bing skillfully summoned the food maker. Then I started figuring out how to make food that tardigrades love to eat. Just now when Iron Man helped him upgrade the bioprobe. He had already taken the time to check the information of the tardigrade. And the preferences of these little cuties. I learned that tardigrades like to eat carotene. Carotene is a general term for natural pigments. It is widely found in the pigments of various animals and plants. But what exactly contains carotene? Although Fang Bing is Columbia University. And also the Faculty of Medicine. It stands to reason. He should be familiar with these. But the problem is. From the beginning of the university to the present. He didn't go to a few serious classes in total. Now it's a sweat. Think about it. The thing that tardigrades love to eat is called carotene. So let's feed it carrots directly? There must be carotene in carrots, right? Otherwise, why is it called carotene, but not white steamed bread? Try anyway and lose nothing. Fang Bing directly began to make food from carrots. A carved raw carrot is directly generated. Because he is afraid that carrots will not contain carotene when cooked. Pick up this carrot. Slowly put it in a puddle. He was afraid that the little cuties thrown into it would all be smashed away. Watch the carrot slowly sink into a puddle. Fang Bing began to wait silently. According to his experience. If successful. The list of abilities can be extracted in the slowest minute. But he waited. Waited 10 minutes. I also didn't hear the mechanical tone prompted by the system. Never mind. What he has is patience. So he crouched by the puddle for another 10 minutes. Just when he was about to give up. The long-awaited prompt suddenly came to mind. Water bears, God-given resistance LV9, it can survive in any natural extreme environment, cockroaches are simply weaker than it. Cryptogenetic. Special, it can drain body fluids when encountering extreme environments, enter a state of hidden suspended animation, and can be revived when exposed to water again. As a tardigrade, the snail crawls like a rocket launch. Peeling LV1 in order to maintain development, it peels at regular intervals. Ovulation LV3, it can release many eggs at a time when it reproduces. The list of tardigrades' abilities seemed to Fang Bing to be weak. Because tardigrades are a fragile little animal. It's just that nature is very resistant. Any 3-year-old child can trample hundreds to death with a single kick. In other words, Although the tardigrade demon resistance is strong. But the physical resistance is zero. Except for one, God-given endurance, everything else is garbage. Cryptophy depends on the unique body structure of the tardigrade. The tardigrade is a simple creature with only a head and limbs. Only then can we achieve hidden life, suspended animation, and resurrection in water. And this ability is useless to Fang Bing. Because he had Wolverine's self-healing when he fought. Even if he can use it. What if you lose the war, even if you enter suspended animation? If you are slashed by someone, it still becomes real death. Only the ability of God-given endurance is really hanging. The tardigrade is a small animal that is invisible to the human eye. Can be so widely known. Thanks to its ability. Can live in a vacuum. Extreme cold can live. Can live under great pressure. Can live under radiation. These books can be regarded as devil's resistance. And so it is. When Fang Bing fuses and upgrades the resistance of the pumped water bear. Obtained, water bears resistant LV10. Then this ability actually fused with Fang Bing's previous extreme endurance LV10 from cockroaches. Eventually, the two skills merged to evolve into a new ability. And this ability gave Fang Bing the most lacking demon resistance now. God-level resistance LV3, you have a strong resistance to all attribute energy attacks, you can be completely immune to low-level energy damage, and have a certain damage reduction for low-level energy damage above low-level energy damage. Fang Bing felt that the hanging was bursting. The little tardigrade actually gave him magic resistance. And it's also all attribute energy resistance. Taken literally. This means that Fang Bing has this ability. Magic to any attribute. Whether it's dark magic, or chaos magic, or white magic. Even other energy attacks that are not considered magic. All have a certain resistance. This gave Fang Bing a great sense of security. Especially after he discovers that there is a Cthulhu-like demon god at the bottom of the sea. In Fang Bing's opinion, the eye demon is the Cthulhu of this world. And the Quagos it created. It has the same root and origin in strength. It's just a lot weaker than it. And this unnameable Cthulhu-type demon god. The best thing is to control the human mind and make humans fall into crazy black magic. Fang Bing had been restless since he came out of the sea. That's why he was anxious to find a way to resist it. Used to beware. Lest one day if you don't pay attention, you can't help but become a crazy believer in Quagos. Next. Fang Bing left the swamp. Because tardigrades are no longer useful to him. After obtaining the full level of water bear resistance. It can no longer be stacked. Otherwise, it would be strange if he didn't superimpose himself on an absolute defense. But where in the world is there such a beautiful thing? Although Fang Bing was looking forward to ascending to the sky in one step. But I also know that's not realistic. Can get stronger, step by step. He was already satisfied. Next. He needs to find a way to test it. How awesome is this so-called God-level resistance of himself? Open an orange-yellow portal with one hand. Walk in. When I came out, I came to the barren mountain again. Fang Bing found an open space. I found some wood again. Pile into a pile. Ignition. Roast yourself. Although Fang Bing didn't know what grade of energy the low-level energy was. But he can test. Since it is said that it is all attribute resistance. That flame should also belong to one of them, right? So Fang Bing roasted himself like this. Of course. He did not skewer himself into the iron bar to roast on the fire. Because that's a shame. He is not an inner man. So he just sat by the fire. Place your left hand over the fire and roast. Really? God-level resistance lives up to its name. When Fang Bing put his hand on the flame. He couldn't feel the scorching heat of the flames at all. Only a hint of warmth was felt. He couldn't do it before. Even if he has a level 8 super physique. Physical fitness second only to the Hulk. But being burned by the fire still hurts. It's just that it won't be burned to death or burned very hard. And now. The situation has completely changed. Ordinary flames have completely lost their harm to him. To know. The temperature at the top of a firewood flame can reach 500 temperatures. But now it doesn't work at all. After testing the normal flame. Fang Bing already had a rough idea of this ability in his heart. But he knows. He definitely can't just defend against ordinary flames. Because his God-level resistance level is LV3. Ordinary flame. At most, it can be regarded as a level 1, right? Of course, Fang Bing is just a guess. He couldn't find any other magicians or energy weapons to fire at him right now. But he still has to continue testing. Because there is another place that provides him with a harsher testing environment. Cut open the portal. When square ice reappears. It has come to the active crater of Hawaii. That's right. He wanted to see if the magma could hurt himself. The temperature of magma is much higher than that of flames. The maximum temperature can reach 1,400 degrees. Come to the side of the crater. Fang Bing was not stupid enough to jump directly in. In case his resistance is not enough to resist such high temperatures. Jump directly even if you cannot die with a super physique. I'm afraid I have to burn off a layer of skin at the very least. So. Be cautious. Fang Bing just grabbed the rock wall with his hand. Slowly climbed into the crater. All the way down to just half a meter from the lava. Only then bent down and slowly lowered his hand into the hot magma below. Grass. Hurt. Fang Bing retracted his palm from the magma and looked at it. The palms have become red. But it's fine. It's just red. Originally, this was able to melt magma of steel. When he reached down just now, I only felt a tingling pain. But no substantial damage was caused to his hand. This should be the damage reduction for damage above low-level energy mentioned in the ability statement, right? And this magma did not actually hurt itself. It shows that the magma has not reached the intermediate level of energy damage to itself. So Fang Bing deduced. Magma energy damage should be somewhere between low and medium. It will cause this to make you feel painful. Again, it is just the result of burning your hands until they turn red. Thereupon, Fang Bing had a number in his heart. He took off his clothes and put them into storage. Thump. Episode 79, Fang Bing jumped down the crater. Jumped into the magma. Today. He wants to experience the feeling of bathing in magma. Hiss. Hurt. Tingling all over the body. But Fang Bing held back. It's like cupping gua sha. A few seconds later. He was already red all over. Feel the power of the flood in the body. Start swimming in the volcanic magma pool. 3 minutes later. He jumped out with a rub. Can't stand it. Blanch it again and it will be cooked. Now he also knows his current limits. In the magma. He can hold out for up to 10 minutes. Otherwise, you may be harmed. After testing your newly acquired abilities, Fang Bing put on his clothes and prepared to go home. Open the portal. Straight back to the living room of the house. Really? Wanda is still sitting cross-legged in the living room meditating. Fang Bing didn't know if this should be called meditation. Anyway, listening to her heartbeat felt like falling asleep. Originally, I wanted to ask her about the big octopus she dreamed of before. Think about it or forget it. I have never heard that Scarlet, which also has the ability to dream and predict the future. It is estimated that it is also a coincidence. No more. Look at how well people sleep now. Let her continue to sleep. The other side. Wolverine Logan, after leaving London, just kept thinking about it. Do you want to contact the magic cook you met before to help? He's in big trouble now. The cause of the matter. A month ago. He has a home in the middle of nowhere. It was where he lived for a long time. Since parting ways with his eldest half-brother Victor after World War II. He lived there in seclusion when he had nothing to do. I also talked about a girlfriend over the years. Live with him. But a month ago. When Wolverine goes out to work. When returning home. Unexpectedly, he found that his girlfriend was already lying on the ground. Blood flowed all over the place. He's dead. Discovered after examination of the wound. It turned out to be exactly the same as the wound caused by his own claw. He understood. Kill your loved ones. It is his former big brother. Saber-toothed tiger Victor. Because Victor's abilities are exactly the same as his. When Wolverine Logan was on a mission in the army. Serendipity. Tasks arranged by the general. Indiscriminate killing. This has caused a lot of ordinary deaths. But in the end, it was just for an ordinary meteorite as a collector's item. Unacceptable, Wolverine chose to leave the barracks. Before leaving, he wants to persuade his eldest half-brother Victor to go with him. But Victor did not agree. Because this big brother is bloodthirsty and murderous by nature. He felt that staying in the army to participate in the war was his destiny. That's it. The two parted ways. But decades have passed in the blink of an eye. Wolverine Logan never expected it. This eldest brother, who has not been seen for decades, has appeared again. And also killed his own girlfriend? It's just unbearable. He left the mountain nest. Start looking for Victor. He wants revenge. Ultimately. After many twists and turns. Wolverine arrived at a military testing ground. Finally, the eldest brother Victor was found here. But also found. The man behind all this is General Stryker. All just to lure him here. Use him to do X experiments. And his girlfriend is not dead. The dead girlfriend he saw was just a clone stand-in. The real girlfriend is in this military factory, controlled by General Stryker. His girlfriend's sister was kidnapped by General Trask. In this way, control your girlfriend's betrayal of Wolverine. Wolverine was furious. He rushed to General Trask, but was blocked by his eldest brother Victor. Because Victor is as capable as him. Because Victor fought on the battlefield for many more years. Experienced. He was defeated by Victor. Defeated. Fall to the ground. Then it was caught by General Trask. Locked up in the lab. Start the X experiment. Pour Edmund alloy into his body. As a result, his whole body bones were wrapped in Edmund alloy. The claw also changed from the original bone claw to the Edmund alloy blade. Ultimately, he escaped from the lab. Escaped from the military factory. Came to London. But he failed to save his girlfriend. In Stryker's laboratory. After seeing the power of his men, Wolverine felt like he had no chance of winning. I remembered the words of the magic cook. Pull out your phone. Dial out the previously saved number. Jingle bells. Fang Bing's mobile phone, who was meditating, rang. Take a look. Hey. The fish is hooked. It turned out to be Wolverine Logan. Quickly connect it. Hello, I am Logan who ate your lamb kebab the other day. When you said that I could ask you for help if I was in trouble, I gave this contact information. Are you free now? The call just connected. On the opposite side came the vicissitudes of Wolverine Logan's vicissitudes. Fang Bing opened his mouth and asked, free. Do you have any trouble and need help? My girlfriend has been kidnapped. I know you can open a portal. Can you please open a portal for me and send me into a place? Wolverine Logan held the mobile phone, feeling a little nervous. Hope that the mysterious magician on the other side can help him. Although he also knew Circe of the Eternals. But Circe has explicitly rejected his request. For the Eternals have rules on Earth. It is not allowed to meddle in conflicts between human beings. The only task that can only be done well is to destroy the mutants. No problem, I'll go find you. After Fang Bing listened to Wolverine's request. Only then did I figure out what was happening to him. Although it is somewhat different from memory. But he knows. This trip goes. You will definitely run into other people with special abilities. Fang Bing slashed open the portal with one hand. Walked in. Wolverine thousands of miles away. Just hung up. He saw an orange-yellow portal appear in front of him. The magic cook who gave him his contact information appeared in front of him. Although the heart is already prepared. But it still feels magical. But. He saw Fang Bing's ability again. I feel more confident. So he hurriedly stepped forward to greet him. By the way, he told Fang Bing his plan. After Fang Bing listened. I think this plan is a bit. Wolverine just used him as a mobile portal. Just want to open the portal and go inside. Find a girlfriend and girlfriend's sister. Come out of the portal again. It's as simple as that. Well, don't you want revenge? Fang Bing asked demagogically. And said that he can provide a proxy service. Wolverine shook his head. He didn't want to provoke those right and wrong. Since the girlfriend is not dead. Then he just wants to save his girlfriend now. Go ahead and live his little life. Fang Bing was helpless. It's not like Uncle Wolf's temper. Shouldn't you just think about going in and killing all the people inside? That's a shame. Never mind. Rescue his girlfriend first and then watch. Then. The action began. Because Fang Bing had never been to that military factory. So Wolverine took him all the way to the vicinity of the military factory. Fang Bing was able to probe the movements in the military factory through super hearing. By the way, confirm the terrain and location inside. This way he can drive the portal directly in. The results are less than ideal. It's good to say outside the military factory. The internal X lab has a very high level of secrecy. With the Hydra base in general. A large number of shielding and soundproofing materials are used. As a result, Fang Bing could not hear the movement inside. It is therefore impossible to drive the portal directly to its destination. So. That means they have to hit in first. When Fang Bing told Wolverine the news. Wolverine was stunned. He didn't expect that there were still prerequisites for the magician to open the portal. But since Fang Bing said so. He could only change his original plan. Then I'll go first, lure the people inside, and you sneak in and open a portal to rescue them. Wolverine never thought about the magical magician in front of him. What combat power can you have in the face of mutants? So a new plan was soon developed. After Fang Bing listened. Just nod. Didn't explain anything to Wolverine. Wolverine saw Fang Bing agree. No longer hidden. Directly appeared and rushed in. Various fierce gunfire explosions began to be heard in the military factory. Fang Bing didn't wait for Wolverine to complete the task of luring the enemy. Then I walked in. He ignored the ordinary servicemen with guns. Instead, he went straight to the X-laboratory deep in the military factory. Now for Fang Bing. Wolverine's guiding role is over. He has achieved his goal. Found locations where mutants may have been found. So the next words. Fang Bing's main task is to find the mutants. Force feeding. If you run into Wolverine's girlfriend, just open a portal to help him get out. It can also be regarded as a reward for him as a leading party. Because Fang Bing came in too quickly. Some of the ordinary guards have not yet been lured away by Wolverine. I saw Fang Bing break in. Without saying a word, the attack began. Fang Bing was too lazy to ink with these people. People who encounter attacks. Direct to power generation energy shock knockdown. A few minutes later. He has already arrived inside the X-Lab. Episode 80, General Stryker is at another secret base. Remotely commanded everything in the military factory. He had noticed the man who had broken in with Wolverine. When Wolverine broke in just now, he sent Victor, Wolverine's eldest brother. Go to the uniform. And the man who can deliver electric shocks in the surveillance. It's just right to test the power of his latest secret weapon. Release the number 11 experimental body and destroy the invaders. 2 minutes later. Fang Bing, who was wandering around the laboratory. I saw a mouthless man appear in front of me. A groove in my heart. Immediately recognized who the person in front of him was. Isn't this Deadpool? It's nothing more than Deadpool with a sewn mouth. Perverted version of Deadpool. Fang Bing watched X-Men related movies and TV in his previous life. The timeline is so messy. I have never been sure of the universe I am in. What happened to the mutants? And what really happened to the mutants? To what step? But the moment you see Deadpool, he realized. He is now in the plot of Wolverine's original encounter. Deadpool, that word. Because I have cancer. Tricked by General Stryker into experimenting. And then it was transformed into the current ghostly appearance. General Stryker thought he talked too much. He also deliberately sewed his mouth in the experiment. But this version of Deadpool is really strong. Because of General Stryker's X-gene experiments. Extracting genes from other mutants. Injected into Deadpool. This gave him the superpowers of several people. But at the cost. Deadpool was controlled by General Stryker. Completely become a battle puppet. Deadpool, in front of Fang Bing. Entered combat mode on the orders of General Stryker. Both hands stretched out the long Edmund alloy twin swords. It disappeared. When it reappears. Already behind Fang Bing. A sword stabbed towards his heart. When Fang Bing saw mouthless Deadpool. Just watch out for his move. With super reaction speed. A twist dodged the sword. But when Fang Bing turned around and punched back. The Deadpool behind him disappeared again in an instant. Fang Bing suddenly felt really annoying. Direct full force discharge. Range attack. A circle of electricity is centered on square ice. Rush around. Just hit the Deadpool who reappeared around him. Deadpool shuddered with electricity. Stop and tremble in place. Fang Bing took the opportunity to approach. One grasped the Edmund alloy sword in his hand. Activated the ability to convert matter. Turn it into water. Completely abolish this ability of Deadpool. But when Fang Bing just wanted to punch this product. Take away when feeding slowly. Deadpool has recovered quickly. He disappeared in front of Fang Bing's eyes again. When it reappears. It was already 100 meters away from Fang Bing. Redness of the eye sockets. 2 laser rays shot out of both eyes in an instant. Hit Fang Bing, who could not dodge.